What's good? We back. It's the Boston Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. One time we grinding. Shout out to the whole LDBC. And just reacting to, Danny Jacobs and Serhiy Derevianchenko press conference. And apparently, Danny Jacobs' manager, I think they might share managers, but I know, Danny Jacobs' manager said that Danny Jacobs had an opportunity to go another route. All right. He said he could have got the same money to fight a lesser opponent, but he chose to fight Derevianchenko. They also said, Lou DiBella also said, Derevianchenko could have fought Martin Murray for the belt, but wanted to go to Danny Jacobs' route. Andre Rozier, the trainer of both, who would just be training Danny Jacobs' fight, said that he didn't want the fight to happen. He wanted them to go another route. He said that he wanted Derevianchenko to fight Triple G, but Triple G didn't want to fight a real middleweight. He wanted to fight Vanes Martirosyan. So there's a lot of things going around here, and what it sounds like to me is, this is the best option for both guys available. Because Derevianchenko didn't have to give Danny Jacobs this title shot. But what Danny Jacobs had was a TV deal with HBO, where Derevianchenko would have been ice cream sandwiched between a PBC card, or possibly fighting a championship fight on Fox Sports 1 PBC, or fighting on a pay-per-view undercard of Wilder and Fury, versus Martin Murray. That's the likely that fight would have fell on that card, I believe, just because of the demographics and the ethnic groups involved, like that. So the best option to get notoriety and really jumpstart, the hype train or the publicity train for both of these guys, or to stay relevant for both of these guys, were to fight each other. It created a nice backstory. They both were friends. The sparring videos of them sparring each other. They both are familiar with each other. I pretty much believe they both think they could beat each other. It's a great story for New York to get behind it. And it made sense. It made sense. Storyline sense. It made network sense for Derevianchenko to come to HBO. And for Danny Jacobs, it made sense for him to fight for a belt, that he can get. Because he didn't elect to fight for this belt versus Triple G. He didn't make weight the second day weigh-in. Or he didn't attempt to make weight. So it gives him an opportunity to win his first world title versus a familiar foe. And Derevianchenko gives him an opportunity to be on the platform to get the general public behind him and make an example out of Danny Jacobs and still New York City, boxing-wise, under Danny Jacobs, from under Danny Jacobs. And Lou DiBella is just making deals with everybody now. And good for him, because he's a guy that needs another guy to really get with his fighters and get with his promotional company where he needs to be. He's not a guy that's going to pull something off by himself like this. He needs help. He needs co-promoters. He needs promoters to work with him. Maybe Regis fighting on Top Rank. Maybe, Tevin Farmer signing to Eddie Hearn. Maybe Derevianchenko coming over to the Zone. He needs that help. Or Derevianchenko also, coming over to HBO with Derevianchenko with Al Heyman. He needs that help. You know what I'm saying? And it's a fight that I'm very, very interested in going to. Most likely, I would try to make my way to this fight. If it goes right, I will. I'm 100% behind this fight. I love the storyline, and it's gonna be going on at the theater room in Madison Square Garden, because Eddie Hearn couldn't really get it nowhere else. It almost ended up at the Nassau Coliseum, but I don't know what happened with that, which is a bigger venue in Long Island. But the Madison Square Garden theater room, I definitely will take it. I've been there before. Mick Conlan professional debut when Kovalev pulled up on Conor McGregor. But like I said, Danny Jacobs didn't say much. Derevianchenko didn't know a lot of English, but he did the best he could. And for people criticizing his English, I'm pretty sure we probably couldn't speak a lick of his native language, as well as he did in our native language. So, like I said, it's a good fight. Heavy Hardy is supposed to be on the undercard as well with somebody else. She's supposed to be rematching the girl. I think she fought in the Barclays Center on Broner and Vargas undercard, which she clearly lost. She clearly lost. You know what I'm saying? She clearly lost that fight. And when she clearly lost that fight, the crowd, I was there. The crowd was happy, but a lot of them felt she was losing. A lot of them felt, I would conversate with them, that she lost. So it's taking shape. It'll be going down October 27th, 2018. Madison Square Garden Theater Room. So I'm not sure when tickets go on sale. It's a Lou DiBella fighter and Al Heyman PBC fighter Derevianchenko. Eddie Hearn the Zone, or Eddie Hearn HBO fighter, and Danny Jacobs. So Definitely interested in the fight. Like I said, the fighters didn't say a lot, but they could have definitely went a different route. And this is the route they chose to go. You know what I'm saying? Derevianchenko didn't have to give Danny Jacobs this opportunity, but with that being said, Derevianchenko wouldn't have had this platform without Danny Jacobs. So it was a need for both of them, man. It was a need for both of them to fight with each other. Middleweight championship on the line, the IBF title. And apparently Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders will be announced. The press conference either happened or they having it pretty soon, I think. And, you know, Billy Joe Saunders want the winner of this fight, or Danny Jacobs, he called out, so as well. And they had this at a small bar or club. This was no main event type of shit, though, you know what I'm saying? This wasn't no baller type of press conference. They rented out a small pub, and a few reporters showed up. Blue Blood Sports got an interview with Eddie Hearn, so I want you guys to check it out. So this wasn't nothing that was like, you know, extravagant, but it was good. You know, a lot of people was humble, not a lot of trash talk. Seemed like Andre Rozier, one of his coaches, is going to be coaching Derevianchenko. And, you know, he had a hard time speaking about what he wanted to see from this fight, so, or articulating it. You know, he said, you know, he called Danny Jacobs a great fighter, but he tried to backtrack because now he knows that's his rival. So, you know, it'll be interesting, man. Be very, very interesting, man. But this is a must-win for Danny Jacobs at all costs. He lose this one, I think the shit's over. My Adrian Broner voice. But don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also, if you want to join the Boycott Group / Classic Fight Group, we're going to be boycotting the fights that we feel that need to be boycotted, streaming them in the group so you can watch the fight. Also, the Classic Fight, we're going to do one Classic Fight a week and do a watch party for that. And we're going to score it and we're going to review it on YouTube. So make sure you join that. And also the rest of the links in the description. Shout out to the whole LDBC. We gone.